Tell me, do you remember that time that you broke up with your ex? And I mean, a lot of us, unfortunately, part in not best of terms. And you found yourself saying, I wish that person the worst of luck in the world. I wish they never make it ever. Do you also maybe remember, or have you experienced a time when you saw someone working in whatever project it might have been, and it could have been a little bit of jealousy, it could have been a little bit of, I wish I wasn't in that seat, and you felt or heard yourself saying, you're never going to make it. It's never going to work. Forget about it. I know this is not going to happen. Have you ever felt this kind of energy before? Or have you had that energy directed to you? Has somebody told you, you can never make this. Forget this. It's never going to be. The dictionary term for this is called spite. And spite is an act of annoyance to somebody, to annoy someone or to do things maliciously, to hurt somebody. It's words, it's energy that makes you feel bad inside and makes you feel like maybe I can't achieve what I set out to achieve. I've felt this energy. All my life, I've had this big dream to be a filmmaker. I wanted to tell stories to the world. I want to tell stories to the world. I want to have my film, my series, being watched and critiqued and praised, not just in Botswana, not just in Southern Africa, but the rest of the world. Just because I wanted to do this in Botswana, I received a lot of negative responses. I mean, I get it. The creative industry in Botswana, growing up as a creative in Botswana, is insane. You're constantly told that your head is in the clouds. Why are you trying to be in a career path that doesn't give the money that we know you want, that we know you need? Why are you not going with everyone else? Why can't you be more academic? And as you grow, this not only comes from people close to you who might just not understand your trade, but it can also now come from people who are in your trade and might see you as competition, so they want to pull you down. That's the negative energy that feeds on you. What do you do when you know that you have what it takes, that you have a vision and you have a dream, and you want to put it out there to the world? Well, I decided that I will actually use this negative energy. I will take it, I will smile, I will turn it into a positive. And in my positivity, I will tell you, I'll show you, I can make it. In simple terms, bet. And I think I've done pretty well so far. I mean, I graduated with a degree in film and TV. I'm a creative director of a film and TV administration company. I'm the alumni of the first MTF, Multi-Choice Talent Factory in Africa, where I co-wrote an African horror that was broadcasted in all of Southern Africa. I even co-wrote a movie that was premiered in Angola, and it aired in different festivals in France and in Portugal. I've been to the Cannes Festival, where I was pitching my own animation script. I am the co-founder of Women in Film Botswana. I'm the secretary of Women in Film International. I was even part of the national team in Botswana for a research project that was headed by UNESCO. I even moved out of my parents' house. I sustained myself as a creative filmmaker, a creative person, as a filmmaker here in Botswana. I realized that spite is actually a powerful motivator. My mantra is, I am fueled by spite. I take that negative energy that is driven towards me and I fuel it into a positive energy, into success, into a reason for me to keep going and to show that I can make this. I know what I'm doing. I also realized that I'm not the only person in the world who is fueled by this notion. And I would like to share two particular stories that really get me going. The first one starts in the year 2000, where two young men had this small little business called, it was a DVD rent by mail. And they ran this business through the internet. which back then the .com was very new and very iffy and misunderstood by a lot of people. They were not doing so bad, but unfortunately, as businesses go, it was a little too expensive of a model to run. And with bitter hearts, they decided, okay, let's sell this and let's give it to someone who can make it better. So they approached Blockbuster, the then big kahuna of video, of film. They had 9,000 stores globally in the year 2000, with a turn-up of 5.9 billion in revenue. So they had a really simple proposition for them. We sell you our company, you're able to branch out into the internet, and you keep running your stores. And what did Blockbuster do? Unfortunately, like a lot in 2000, a lot of people back then, they did not understand exactly what this internet craze is. And they were very quick to laugh in their faces. Like, what do you mean you're going to sell movies through this thing we cannot see? So they laughed in their faces and they told them it's never going to happen and we're never going to take this. And lucky for us, these two young men decided, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. They were hurt, but they had a vision. And so they used their hurt, they used that I will show you to gain more funding and gather more investors, and they grinded hard until they found themselves climbing up that success ladder. Years later, those two young men, Mark Randolph and Reed Hastings, have Netflix, one of the largest streaming services in the world. And where's Blockbuster now? Unfortunately, they failed to adapt, and they were too quick to give those spiteful words. And because of the lack of adaptation, they only have one remaining store in all of the world. The next story really hits home. It's about a young Motswana with a fashion label that was ranked among the top 5 most admired brands in the country. And she was the youngest Motswana in that list. She was a very smart cookie. She had 48 points in her high school. She was a top achiever in Botswana. She had the option of going to any school she wanted around the world, being sponsored by the government. She was accepted at the London School of Fashion. Unfortunately, it's School of Fashion. What do you mean you want to go and do fashion and come back to Botswana? You're going to starve, is what she was constantly being told. You can't go there, you can't do that. And unfortunately, it was too much pressure. What do you do when everybody around you is saying no? So she decided, I'll be smart about it. And how did she get smart about it? Instead of going to London, she decided, let me go to University of Botswana. She got a business degree. Through that business degree, it taught her how to run a business. And the business that she started was a fashion label. And through her skills and through her learning throughout and her own creativity and talent that she had, God-given, she ran with her business. She created amazing designs. She was going through social media. Everybody was seeing this young startup lady. People were starting to want to buy her stuff. She was getting recognized not just in Botswana anymore, but in South Africa, outside South Africa. She was starting to get that power. Now, her fashion label is a solid company. She has made it so big that her company was one of the young enterprises featured in the Africa Summit in 2023. She had a French minister visiting Botswana buy one of her outfits, and she was the first Motswana to be showcased at New York Fashion Week. This young lady is Mboko Basiame, and her fashion label is Glotto. Looks good, feels good, love the passion. So why am I sharing these two stories? It's to show that we should never dim our light just because other people don't see its power, don't see its brightness, don't see how far it can go. So yes, I am fueled by spite. I take that negative feedback, I take that negative direction, and I turn it into a positive light. I turn it into my own success story. I turn it into a reason why I wake up every day and say, I have something to live for, and I love what I'm doing. and I love to take everyone with me as I go on this journey. So, how do you do this? How do you decide to wake up and keep going? Where do you start from point A to point B? Well, start with believing your dream. Know that your dream is worth it. Know that your story is worth sharing with the world. Know that your talent, know that your skills are worth sharing. Then you need to read, you need to research on this drive of yours. Is it a career path that's worth following? How do you follow it? How do you get yourself out there? What have other people done that you can learn from? Benchmarking is a very, very big thing. You need to reach out to people in your field. Find yourself a mentor. People who know me know I'm very big when it comes to collaboration and networking. It gets you so far. And once you see what you've built, continue to get yourself involved in projects and activities that keep you in that space. And you'll see your success going and growing and just becoming amazing. They say nothing in this world that's worth having comes easy. Of course, we need to work really hard, and I'm happy to do so. And I hope that you do too. Let's keep succeeding and let's keep growing. Thank you.